Hi, I'm John Hinchy, a consultant at Crowe. In this webinar, I will walk through Microsoft Dynamics 365 Field Service and show how organizations can move from an incoming service issue to a scheduled work order and a completed field visit. The goal is to show how service teams can stay connected from intake through execution using one platform. Put simply, Dynamics 365 Field Service helps organizations coordinate work that has to be performed away from the office, such as an installation, inspection, maintenance task, or repair. Think of the familiar repair technician scenario. A problem is reported, a central team creates and schedules the work, the technician receives the job on the phone or tablet, and the results are recorded back into the same coordinated system. In our example, that setting is an airport. A maintenance issue is captured, converted into a work order, assigned to a technician, and then completed and documented from the field. The technician can record tasks, notes, parts used, and completion status, while the operations team can maintain visibility into the work from beginning to end. At a high level, Microsoft brings together collaboration in Microsoft 365, business applications in Dynamics 365, and low-code capabilities in the Power Platform. Field Service sits in the Dynamics 365 application family alongside customer service, sales, finance, and supply chain. The key takeaway is that Field Service is not an isolated technician app. It is a part of the broader Microsoft Business Platform, supported by Dataverse and the underlying Microsoft Cloud. With that broader context, let us zoom in on the specific role Field Service plays. This view shows that role more clearly. Customer service, or another intake channel, can capture the initial maintenance need and the relevant customer or asset context. Field service becomes the service execution layer, where that demand is converted into a work order, scheduled to the appropriate technician, and completed through the mobile experience. Field service can also connect with ERP and inventory systems to support products, parts, warehouses, purchasing, and downstream financial processes. Dataverse provides the shared data and security foundation, while Power Platform can extend the process with automation, apps, and analytics. The exact integration pattern varies, but the central idea is that Field Service coordinates the handoff between service demand, field technicians, and back-end office operations. To keep this webinar concise, I'm going to focus on 4 parts of the process. First, I will start from a customer case and convert it into a work order. Second, I'll show the work order that is created and how service teams can manage work orders directly from the main work order view. Third, I will show the schedule board, where dispatchers can assign and visualize work. And finally, I'll switch to the mobile app to show what technicians sees in the field. Let's jump into the system and walk through that life cycle. In this example, a service issue has already been created for the case. This gives the team a place to document the customer, contact, asset, and issue details before the dispatch work begins. From here, I can convert the case directly into a work order. This is important because it creates a clean handoff from the service intake into the field execution rather than making the operations team recreate the request manually. Here I can see my service request type, location, asset, and then before I click Convert to Work Order, I can add the incident type and task location to pre-populate the work order with the correct information. Once the work order is created, the service team has a record that can drive the rest of the process. Here we see the work order status, the service account, the work order type, and the incident information that came over from the original issue. This becomes the operational record that dispatchers and technicians can work from. We can also see our products and services needed for the task, products, services, and the task types to be completed. Now I'll click on my work orders, and from the active work orders view, teams can manage work at scale. Instead of opening every record one at a time, the dispatchers or coordinators can use the flyout to review and update details more efficiently. Here, I can set priority, update agreements, and make any edits to the work order from the flyout. This is especially helpful when the team is working across a larger queue and needs to track quick visibility into status, ownership, and scheduling progress. Once the work order is ready, the schedule board gives the dispatchers a visual way to assign work to the right resource. So here, for my navigation, I'll navigate to the schedule board. Here I can see workload, timing, and availability in one place, which helps teams make faster scheduling decisions. This is where field service becomes especially valuable for organizations that need to coordinate technicians and service windows in real time. I can click on my resources, see the map update. I can view the resource card to see what characteristics they have and what jobs they can take. And then going to my unscheduled work orders, I can manually add scheduled work orders to the schedule by simply dragging and dropping them on in the appropriate place to add a new work order. So I'll add a work order for Cullen. I'll add one more for myself to complete my day's work. After the job is scheduled, the technician can work from the mobile app. Here, the technician can see the booking, review the service tasks, confirm the products and incidents, and update progress directly from the field. This is where the operational plan turns into execution. Instead of relying on paper notes or a separate tool, the technician can complete the visit inside the same platform that the back office team is using. Here, opening my work order and setting my booking status to in progress will set the timestamp of the arrival time. From there, I can see my customer information, my service tasks. I can complete these with a check mark going through my mobile app. I can update my services duration estimate. I can update my products estimate. Then back in my general tab, once all the work is done, I can move the status to completed, save, and now I've completed my work order. What this ultimately delivers is a more connected service operation. Teams can move from intake to execution without rekeying information. Dispatchers gain better scheduling visibility, and technicians can work directly from mobile with the right context in hand. That leads to faster execution internally and a better experience for the customer externally. Thank you for taking the time to walk through Dynamics 365 Field Service with me today. If you have any questions, please reach out to your Customer Success Program Manager.